Let's take you back outside because the blue sky is just something to behold. A beautiful, beautiful scene. Over downtown Portland to that clear sky and the blue Willamette River rolling on through. 68 degrees right now. It's about as warm as it got all day. In fact, we'll show you those in a minute. Here's the Columbia upstream at the Dalles. Speaking of the Dalles and the northern Pike Minnow, plying those waters, but not if our fishermen can help it. 72 degrees right now in the Dalles. West-northwest winds at 21 miles an hour. So it's a good, strong onshore flow, and that's what's keeping us cool. Even at Astoria, the sun has broken through. Only in the 50s there. And again, the winds out of the northwest at 16. So all throughout western Oregon and even into central Oregon, we're seeing those strong onshore winds helping to insulate us from the heat farther east. You can see the low clouds that we had this morning, but as is so often the case, late May, June, July, that strong sun burns it off. That strong sun also helps thunderstorms to fire up in eastern Oregon, which they are doing yet again. There's our high today, 69, 68 in McMinnville. Kelso just 65 over in Hood River. You topped out at 68 today. And we had a couple of 80-degree spots in Oregon. LeGrand, Pendleton, Medford. Bend got close with a 79, but again, a fairly coolish day, especially in western Oregon. Clouds in the morning. Tomorrow is almost a carbon copy of today. We're going to go for the same high temperature of 69. Be 60 at noontime, 45 in the morning, and sunset at 8:51. Doppler radar, nothing doing on the west side, but over in eastern Oregon, a lot of thunderstorms popping again, especially between Baker City and Ontario. This batch is weakening now. Haven't had any reports of any of these storms becoming severe, and we're seeing far fewer lightning strikes now compared to, say, an hour ago, but still a couple up around Baker City, so do be aware of that. Talk about national weather for a minute and the situation back east, and not because they're having bad weather in the Northeast. They're having really clear weather, but they're getting smoke, believe it or not, in places like Boston and New York, courtesy of those wildfires burning in Nova Scotia, which is really wild. Now, the biggest one is down near Port Yarmouth. But there are fires around Halifax that I'm sure you've heard about. Here's the southern end of the Nova Scotia Peninsula here. Big fire there. Halifax is near this fire, that little stream of smoke right there. But 16,000 people evacuated. And look at that smoke plume, which is now riding high pressure and rolling back into places, like I said, Boston and New York, smelling and seeing smoke. We're used to that here in the West. They're not used to that back in the East. They hardly ever see this. Canada on pace for a record wildfire season. Already they've burned over 5 million acres. Their average is about 6 million, and we've got several months to go. I mean, it's not even June yet, so a really rough start to the fire season, our friends and neighbors to the north. Meanwhile, we'll continue to have good weather here west of the Cascades with the onshore winds keeping us from getting too hot. You look at the surface map and you see those strong arrows coming out of the northwest, keeping that cool ocean air flowing our way. Low clouds again tomorrow morning, then they burn off. Same thing on Thursday. Low clouds, although perhaps a little more spotty as the winds begin to shift. And that'll be the beginning of a warming trend, which will take us through the weekend, but only into the 80s this weekend. I don't see severe heat coming our way. Hottest day looks like Tuesdays. We bounce into the 90s, but a small area of low pressure may develop and break through that area of hot air and give us a chance for thunderstorms, would also cool us off a bit. So I don't think we're looking at a prolonged period of hot weather next week, but it will be warming up. High today, only 68, which is below average for this time of the year. So clear tonight. Clouds to sun tomorrow again. A carbon copy today, 69. Then 75 on Thursday, 80 on Saturday, and 83 on Sunday. So that forecast for the Starlight Parade could not be any better.
80 sounds great.
Kind of right in the zone.
It sure is. Yeah. Thank you, Matt.